Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. 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 Okay, thank you everyone. Welcome to our November Shotsuki Hoyo and Adult Dharma service. I would like to begin by reading the names of those who've passed away in the month of November. Isaburo Adachi, Shikanosuke Ajari, Joe Akiyama, Tomoe Aoki Johnson, Fumie Endo, Nao Endo, Katsumi Fuji, Yuki Fuji, Nancy Louis Fujikawa, Shitoyo Fujinami, Reverend Masami Fujitani, Toshio Fukuda, Chieko Furuta, Larry Furuta, Sumie Hiramoto Gluck, Rihachi Goto, Katsu Harada, Miyako Hatakeyama, Tom Hayashida, Claude Melvin Hess, Judy Hirabayashi, Mitsuru Hirai, Mamoru Hirota, Masakichi Hirota, Kikuno Honda, Tokuzo Honda, Kotoshi Hori, Fusano Horimoto, Masaru Ide, Leo Ryotaro Ikeda, Kimie Ikemoto, Kenji Kamada, Akira Kanagaki, Chiyo Kaneko, Haruto Kaneko, Miharu Kaneko, Ida Kanesaki, Hyosuke Kawahata, Harue Kihara, Gunnichi Kimura, Seki Komoda, Kiyoshi Kuritsubo, Torasaburo Masuda, Vernon Matsui, Kimiko Messenzel, Grace Misaki, Tori Misumi, Chikamitsu Mitsuda, Roger Miyazaki, Hanzo Miyazaki, Kikuo Mizuhara, Ichihei Mizusaki, George Mori, Jotaro Mori, Hitoshi Greg Morimoto, Setsuko Shirley Morimoto, Rei Yoshiro Morishita, Rokuzo Morishita, William Muranishi, Katsutaro Nagao, Tokie Najima, Mitsuko Nakagawa, Roy Nakagawa, Shotaro Nakamura, Saichi Nakao, Utaka Nakao, Tomiko Nakatani, Hideko Nakazono, Akira Narasaki, Ruth Narasaki, Yoshio Negi, Yuriko Niizawa, Shizuko Nishio, Chiono Nomiyama, Fukuju Nomiyama, Masano Nomiyama, Matsuno Nomiyama, Mitsuru Nomiyama, Chiyomatsu Nomura, Fred Nomura, Irene Nomura, Masai Nomura, Genkichi Ogi, Kansuke Ogi, Mine Ogi, Shingo Ogihara, Chitsuo Ohara, Keisaburo Oka, Vicky Okamoto, Kiyoshi Okemoto, Yoshitaka Oniki, Katsujiro Onizuka, Raymond Otake, Kusue Saika, Harue Sakamoto, Hiroko Sakamoto, Sue Sakamoto, Masaji Sato, Yoshimatsu Seta, Baby Shibata, Harry Shibata, James Shimamura, Jean Siu, Kelly Kalai Siu, Shunyo Soda, Torataro Sumimoto, Kenji Suitsugu, Sumi Tajiri, Kazumi Takahashi, Fukutaro Takashima, Nakai Takashima, Shinobu Takeshima, Sumiko Takeshima, Kazuma Takata, Tuli Takeuchi, Hideo Tamori, Ben Tamura, Ichijiro Tanaka, Shizuo Tanaka, Ren Tanaka, Tameo Tanaka, Takeso Taniguchi, Tora Taniguchi, Kasumi Toji, Mary Tonai, Genjuro Tsujimoto, Yoshikusu Tsujimoto, David Uemura, Konoe Utsurogi, Tom Utsurogi, Sho Wakabayashi, Sam Watahara, Goichiro Watanabe, Tokie Watanabe, Susan Wang, Akie Yamabe, Koito Yamamoto, Kaoru Yamamoto, Yoshi Yamaoka, Tsuru Yamashita, Clara Yokoyama, Grandmother Yoshioka, Setsuko Yoshisato. Okay, next we will have Sutra Chanting. And today we will chant Sanbutsuge, which in the small book is someplace. Page 22. And it's also in the large purple book if you want to use that. Namanda, 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 namanda. Gengigi Ijin Mugok Nyoze Enmyo Muyotosha Nichigatsumani Shuko Enyo Kai Shitsu Onpei Yunyaku Jumok Nyorai Yogen Chose Murin Shogaku Daion Koru Jippo Kaimon Shojin Sanmai Chie Itoku Muryo Shushoke Jintai Zennen Shobutsu Hokai Gujin Jin no Kugo Gaitai Mumyo Yokunu Seson Yomu Nino Shishi Jin Toku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shindo Daisen Ganga Sabutsu Zai Shoho Kado Shoji Mifugedatsu Fuse Joi Kainin Shojin Nyoze Sanmai Chie Ijo Gosei Tokubutsu Fugyo Shigan Isai Kuku Isadayan Keshi Ubutsu Yakusen Okuman Muryo Daisho Shunyo Goja Kuyo Isai Shito Shobutsu Funyo Gudo Kensho Fukyak Hinyo Goja 小仏世界部不可見無種節道光明師匠変死諸国如是精進異人難女両が差別国土第一五種奇妙道場超絶国如内音任務闘争がと愛民道達一切実法内省心熱症状糸が国経楽安の個物神妙是が心象発願の非力少々欲実法世尊知恵無下上領子孫知が信行計量心死食毒中が行精進人寿不敬ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等性際道も大心往生安楽南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿 Okay, thank you once again for joining us for our Shotsuki Hoyo, this monthly memorial service and also adult Dharma service. So one thing that I thought of a while back was thinking about impact. Impact. Right? And part of where it comes from is from an expression that I think has become more well-known recently, intent versus impact. And it's this acknowledgement that our words affect people, right? And sometimes differently than we intended, right? So I might have good intentions, no intention other than making a joke, right? But the person hearing it could have a totally different impact, right? And the words could even be really hurtful, even though I didn't have any hurtful intentions, right? And so, we learned this stuff in we learned it in Dharma school. We had our Bay District Dharma School conference. This is maybe 10 years ago, and that's kind of when I learned about it. And even though I'd experienced it in my own life, and part of it is to realize, I say something, someone gets hurt by it, and then say, no, that's not what I meant, is not a good response. Seems like it, you backpedal, no, that's not what I meant, don't be hurt. But it also means, no, you're wrong, you misunderstood me, this is what I meant, is one way that it could be, right? And maybe the better is if we realize that we had this negative impact, despite my good intentions, to recognize that, to acknowledge that, right? And it doesn't always happen. It doesn't often happen in the moment. Maybe we find out later, right? But we can own up to it, realize, wow, I didn't mean, I didn't mean, that I recognized that what I said was hurtful, and not just cut it off, and that's not what I meant. But that's not what I want to talk about today, even though I had to explain it. I think impact can also be a good thing, right? And recognizing that people have impact on others. Right? And I can maybe recognize the impact that I have. It's not easy being a minister. I'm not complaining. It's not easy being a minister, coming up with talks every week. And, I used to get invited to guest speak a lot and not so much anymore. And I'm like, wow, am I not doing a good job, But then I talked to someone the other day who's actually becoming kind of a ministerial aspirant. And he said, listening to your Dharma Realm podcast, I used to do this podcast with Scott Mitchell, who's Dean of Institute of Buddhist Studies. And wow, I learned this and I learned that, and he just kept going on. And then you had this one where you did this, and then you had this one. I'm like, wow, this thing that I've totally forgotten, don't have time for anymore, still sitting on the internet, right? And having an impact on people, right? And realizing, wow, okay, cool. Okay, maybe I will go down in history as a good minister. I don't know. Maybe I'll go down in history as having had a good podcast, right? Good enough. But recognizing that, and making me realize, wow, maybe we should try and start it up again, right? We're both really busy, but recognizing, wow, that it had that positive impact, so maybe should try and do something like that again, right? And can continue doing that. So learning about the impact that it had on other people was kind of a nice thing for me, a good thing for me, and kind of inspiring in a way. I was also wondering, is there a connection with the expression Ichigo Ichi-e? And that's an expression, Japanese expression. Ichigo, maybe this time, this moment. Ichi-e, so, but one time, right? And then Ichi-e, one meeting, one gathering. So I looked up online just to try and find, some kind of general kind of translation, and one is once in a lifetime encounter. It's pretty good. Unique precious experience, or uniquely precious experience. That's pretty good. More literal, one lifetime, one meeting. I don't like that one. That's too literal. Last time we talked about translating, right? I think it's more once in a lifetime encounter. Right? That this meeting, even right now, this gathering, now, this is the only time this gathering is going to happen. Maybe that's what's one of the nice things about Shotsuki, is it gives us these opportunities to have these gatherings. Right? That's one of the great things about temple, is that, and having Sunday services, right, is that we can go and, this part's only part of it, right? The service, the chanting, the Dharma talk, that's the core of the service, but it's getting to be together, right? The opportunity to be together, this precious meeting, this precious gathering, this precious experience. So I talked to Reverend Endo, because I don't actually know a whole lot about Ichigo Ichi-e. I think we hear it more in BCA recently. It's been kind of becoming kind of a theme for certain things. But I asked Reverend Endo, and he told me that they use it very much in tea ceremony. Right? And so tea ceremony is often, it's not just one person doing it, right? It's a group of people. Maybe the people performing the ceremony, but also the people who are there, participating in it, not maybe doing the actions, although you might drink the tea at the end, right? But that tea ceremony and that this expression may be used a lot there. And also the connection with Zen Buddhism too, right? And Zen has a deep connection with tea ceremony. Judo Shinshu does too, but maybe more explicitly with Zen and tea ceremony, and recognizing the significance of the gathering. Right, doing all the preparation. Each one is going to be different because, and I'm telling you what Michael told me, Reverend Michael, right? That what you use, like the implements, may be connected to a certain season, right? The room, the way the room is decorated, right? It's not the same thing every time, and you don't put out just like plastic plants or something, right? That each one is this special occasion, special gathering. And recognizing that, honoring that, and performing this ceremony. I think in Shin, maybe we would use it more. We do the ritual, but there's something about just meeting informally too. I think that's more my speed, right? That even in the informal meeting, right? The chance to talk, right? The chance to meet. So many times for me, it's fleeting because, we have service and I stand there and greet people going out, but I don't get to talk to every single person. Right? I don't get to talk to each person, and especially in the morning, at the beginning, right? Everyone's talking, and I'm kind of jealous in a way because I'm trying to get my talk together and trying to get the internet set up and everything. But even those morning gatherings before service, after service, right? This precious opportunity to be together, to I think even just saying hello, it can be special, right? But if you get the chance to connect on a deeper level, right? Get the chance to talk about stuff, how precious that can be. Even just being able to see each other though, huh? And now I think we understand that more after the pandemic, right? Where we weren't able to gather together. So now being able to be together in the room, right? I think it's easy to forget too. But that's part of what Buddhism is about. I think is trying to be aware of this special opportunity. Actually, the Nenju, right? The question came up, we talked about it last week or a few weeks ago for the Dharma chat. Question came up today too, right? What's the Nenju about? And to me, well, and there's a whole thing with Juzu and Nenju, right? I think a lot of people know it as Juzu, which means counting beads, right? To use these to count something, count how many times I say Nembutsu or whatever. But for us, it's Nenju. Nen is that mindfulness, awareness, right? So that we can have these beads, and especially maybe in the ritual kind of thing or at temple, but ultimately it's for all the time. That's why you have the wrist one, so that you can wear it just in your daily life, right? And a reminder to be aware, a reminder to be mindful. Whether it's awareness of Buddha, awareness of myself, awareness of this precious gathering, right? To be mindful of that rather than just mindlessly going about my day. Another really special thing I think about Shotsuki though is, and I had a question today too, about when do we get to stop doing Shotsuki, right? When do we get to stop getting the card, stop having the name read, right? Isn't 50 years enough? Right? You never met this person, but you're still doing it? I don't think that's it, right? You don't have to take the names off, and I prefer not to. Sometimes I'm asked to take names off the list, right? Nobody knows this person anymore. They died 80 years ago, 120 years ago. Why do we have to keep getting the card? Why do we have to keep doing Shotsuki? To me, even more so, we should read the name. Right? If nobody remembers them, but their name is being read every year, right? Maybe this is the last time that their name is being heard, the last occasion, but every year, including that name in the reading of the Shotsuki names. I do memorials, I haven't done so many lately, but even the past year or two, I've done a 25-year memorial, 33rd year memorial, right? All decades after someone passes. And a lot of times there's kids, right? And yeah, that kid never met that person. How much more so we should have this gathering, right? How much more so we should read this name and remember them and gather together and talk about them, right? Bring them to mind so that we can keep them in our, even if it's only one day a year, right? To have that name read and have their memory remembered, re-remembered. I heard an interesting theory a long time ago about how maybe it's partly on the Japanese side. I think it's an obligation thing very often. And people think, okay, I got the card. Oh, I have to do this. I have to make a donation. I have to go to the service. That's very Japanese, I think, right? The obligation kind of thing. And I hope it's more than just obligation. You're doing it because we sent you a card. It's like, don't you want to remember the person? Don't we want to take this special time to go? But maybe it's also mixed with an American thing of sweeping this stuff under the rug, right? And not wanting to remember. Funeral's done, let's forget. And one reason I heard for that is this idea that it's because of the westward expansion of America, right? And so as families were, this is 100, 150, 200 years ago, right? As families are moving west, your family's dying, they're being buried somewhere in the Midwest, but you're still going. So you leave that town, and maybe family members buried there, but long forgotten because you've moved on. Right? Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But wouldn't you want to remember? I get it in a way too. I have like a family tree, and I try and look at it, I'm like, I don't, and I don't have a lot of connection with my family, so I kind of get it. It's easier. Just forget it. But I think that this remembering is a really special aspect of our temple life, right? And these Shotsuki services. And I tell this story a lot, right? That when I started here 20 years ago, I mentioned Kanjo Asuka in the first service, right? That I did my internship here 23, 24 years ago. And I was still learning, I was still a student, and we did Shotsuki, but it was Shotsuki to me, and I thought it meant, ski means month, it means moon, right? But so month and moon is connected. But I thought the sho, because we did it on the first Sunday, meant hajimete, right? The first of the month. And I thought that's what it meant, but no, it's Shotsuki, long O. And the sho means auspicious. It's a good thing. It's precious. So this auspicious month when this person passed, right? That's not, I think, a way we normally think in America, right? Of course, we have pain and we feel loss. And when I read the list, you don't see it. I've got first year on there, third year, occasionally a 17th year pops up, 33rd year, 50th year, right? That we keep track till 50. I've heard even 100, right? That you can keep track to 100. So by then, nobody remembers this person, maybe, right? And yet, still doing the service. Right? So it's different for each one of us, depending often on the time, depending on the circumstances. But this is kind of teasing out that layer of, wow, special occasion. This is a special gathering, special opportunity, auspicious month. And so what I have at the bottom of my notes is, I am impacted by people I never met. I am impacted by people I never knew. That even, we're just so, I don't know. I think it's good to acknowledge that. And so the book, right, symbolizing all these people that have passed in this month of November, right? That they're part of this gathering too. Right? We wouldn't be here if it wasn't, we would have already gone home. Dharma family service would have finished. Well, no, we'd be down there still hanging out or going out to lunch, right? But, and maybe that's part of it, right? Inconvenient. I just want to leave after the first one. I don't want to stick around for another service, right? But the deeper meaning is, no, it's special occasion, right? Special opportunity to gather, special opportunity to remember these people. Special opportunity to think about my life and theirs, and to realize the impact that all these people have on me. As I serve here longer, I know more and more people on the list, right? And I know that the people on the list had deep impact on so many people, right? And in special ways that's unique to each person on the list and unique to each one of you. But it's kind of cool about Buddhism too, right? That here we are, it's not just one person here at this service, and it's not just one person on the list. We get to be here and it's like a web of connections, right? It's all these different connections connecting all of us, right? And you may be connected to one person on the list, but that's not the only connection, right? I have a connection to them maybe, and you and I have a connection, and you have a connection to these other people, and so all these connections, right? So this special chance to be able to recognize that and honor that is, I think, a big part of what our services are, and especially this Shotsuki service. So I'd like to conclude the Dharma message, and thank you for joining us. So please join me in Gassho. Ichigo Ichi-e, once in a lifetime encounter. This moment will never be repeated. Let us reflect on all the causes and conditions that have us gathering here today for this Shotsuki Monthly Memorial Service. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Okay, should we sing Ondok-san 2? And it's on page 76 in the small purple book. Or we might get the words on the screen. Or you might have it memorized. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Thank you. I think the main thing to point out is next week we have our special service, Eitai Kyo, with Reverend Gerald Sakamoto, the Rinban of the San Jose Buddhist Church, Betsuin. He served here back in the 70s, and so I'm very happy to have him here for our special service, so please join us. And Mochitsuki stuff is going out. That'll be second weekend in December, and that information's going out in the Bushin for making orders and that kind of thing. Okay. Thank you. Let's conclude our service. Look, there's that information on the screen. Eitai Kyo service, Sunday, November 12th. That's next Sunday. Very excited. Sakamoto Sensei is one of our senior ministers. And so he was a junior minister when he started here, but he's a senior minister now in a Rinban, so special opportunity to get to hear him speak and meet him next week. Oh, there's a Mochitsuki. I knew it. Okay, why don't we conclude our service with Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Namo. Okay, thank you.